college football playoff kicks off later today. First ever 12-team format. Now, despite it being the first year, we'll see how long it remains at 12 teams. Expansion to 16 feels like it could be coming sooner than later, but we'll see how this year goes. Put it this way, I'd be willing to wager a large sum of money that we are already closer to a 16-team field before even getting this thing officially underway than anywhere close to how long it took to go from BCS to the original 4-team format and then this 4 to 12-team expansion. The BCS lasted 15 seasons. Then the 4-team format lasted 10 seasons, leading up to this 12-team field. I think we see 16 teams within less than, call it half that time. I would say by like 2028, we are at a 16-team field. But we can talk about those ideas later. Let's take a look at this year's bracket and the first round games. I'm going to throw out an against the spread pick, and we'll also make a projection on the over-under for each game. Indiana at Notre Dame has some juice. In-state matchup, first game of the playoff, primetime event on ABC. You have a traditional college football brand in Notre Dame against a school most would associate with college basketball. I give a lot of credit to Cignetti for what he's done this season. The Hoosiers have been one of the best stories in college football. I just can't see them going into South Bend and stealing one on the road against the Irish. Now, with the brand of football Notre Dame has been playing this season, the defense, the running game, Riley Leonard does not seem prone to make many mistakes. I just think the Irish have too much talent and size and are going to overwhelm them. It's an interesting matchup. There's going to be a lot of energy around this one, but I like Notre Dame by 2 scores. The line is Notre Dame -7, so a backdoor cover isn't impossible, right? Like if Indiana is down 13-14 late, that's not out of the question. I just don't see this one being close. So Notre Dame wins, take them -7 and the under at, under 51.5. SMU Penn State is the first of the 3 games on Saturday. Penn State is favored by 8.5. I think that's probably about right. I could see a reality in which Penn State wins by 3 touchdowns, but I could just as easily see a game that hovers around that 10 to 12 point margin throughout. It was announced that Drew Aller will be returning next season. Not sure if that factors into this game or the playoffs overall, should Penn State advance. Gotta wonder if getting this out there now maybe affords Aller the opportunity to be a little more loose out there, just play free. A lot of analysts had him projected as a first-round pick, so no doubt about the talent and the physical skills. It will be interesting to see how he plays in the postseason. I think there's a considerable amount of pressure on James Franklin because much like Ryan Day, he's developed a reputation of not being able to win the big game. Now, the difference is with Ryan Day, that's pretty much just Michigan. With James Franklin, it seems like the issue is with all of the top-ranked teams. But now you have a chance in your own building to advance to the second round of the playoffs, where you would then face a non-Power 4 team in Boise State. I think they get it done. Penn State covers the 8.5 point spread, and I think this game stays under 53.5. Speaking of Ryan Day, I think this is a must-win. After your regular season goes up in smoke with yet another loss to Michigan, at home, by the way, Michigan is unranked. They finished 7th in the Big Ten. You cannot lose that game, which subsequently knocked them out of the Big Ten championship game. You cannot lose that game and then lose a second game in a row at home when a chance to advance to the second round of the playoffs is on the line. Winner of this one goes on to play Oregon. I think we get the Ohio State-Oregon rematch on New Year's Day. I think this one is close, though. I have Tennessee covering the 7.5, and I also see the under 45.5 coming in. Biggest spread of these first round matchups is Clemson at Texas. Texas is favored by 12 points over 10-3 Clemson. Texas has lost twice to Georgia. Clemson lost to Georgia by 30 and then lost games to South Carolina and Louisville. The only reason they were even in the ACC championship was because Miami choked against Syracuse, which knocked the U out of the playoffs. I like Texas to win this big. At time of recording, Isaiah Bond's status is still up in the air. If he plays, this thing could get really ugly. Even if he doesn't, I still like Texas by 20 plus. Say what you want about Quinn Ewers' play this season. Clemson is completely outmatched in this one. I don't care if it's Ewers playing, if it's Arch playing, or maybe a combination of both. Texas should cover easily. Horns cover the 12-point spread, and this one feels like it's going to go over 51.5. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this first round, and good luck to all the Golden Domers tonight.